This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Welcome back to the Jack Murphy Podcast. John is back today. Look at that. How about that? John Garrett has rejoined us on the Jack Murphy Podcast.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot of rumors. I heard you wanted to spend more time with your air fryer. I heard a rumor that you ran off with your neighbor Quandra in an RV. Quandra in an RV, and you were last seen heading out of Montgomery with her and the kids in the RV. But I didn't believe that for a minute.
I will not be leaving without my air fryer. I'll tell you that, Jack.
John had never done a lot of cooking, and he decided to save money. He was going to get one of those air fryers. You get it at Walmart?
Got it at Walmart, and I was like, I had no idea what I was looking for. There was a lady there, a very nice lady, who was just a shopper, and I was like, hey, which one do I need to get if I want to just like cook hamburgers and stuff? Right. Oh, baby, you got to get you one of these. And she was showing me all the different ones.
It's a black lady. It's a black lady, obviously.
Well, I don't know. I'm not, maybe. Did it sound like a black woman?
Yeah,
she was Irish. She was like, let me tell you, laddie, here's what you need to get.
Oh, okay.
So, man, I've become like Paul Prudhomme up in here.
Did I tell you about going to the Walmart the other day?
No.
So, a week ago Saturday, it was I was going to go out with my grandson on the lake, and he's only 3, right? So I said, all right, I'm going to buy him, because I bought my son one of these. I said, I'm going to buy him one of those little miniature Disney fishing rods, right? So I was going to meet them at the lake on Saturday morning at like 8 o'clock. So I go online and look, and they're selling these little things at the Walmart, a super center. It's about 8 miles from here. So I said, okay, I'll go there. Opens at 6 a.m. I'm there at 10 till 6, John.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Well, let me tell you, this place, I haven't been to a Walmart in forever. I go to Costco and Publix. That's my shopping. I go to this place, and it's like, it looked like it was like 5 acres, this building. And I park and I go in, and I was just stunned. I haven't been in one of those super centers in years. This is a new one. And I've never seen anything so gigantic in my life.
You almost need one of those disabled people's scooters just to make your way through the entire store.
And there were other people like me waiting on it to open. And they opened, I don't know why, they didn't open the main doors right at 6.
That's how Walmart does. I go to Walmart every morning.
They open the grocery.
You're like one of those people waiting for the Walmart to open. That's when you know you've reached the rock bottom in life.
Yeah. My goal now, after standing out there waiting, not knowing I had to walk down to the grocery entrance to get in, all the cool people were already down there going in the grocery entrance.
Right.
But, man, I was right under that speaker, John. I want to be the Walmart DJ.
I thought the same thing. What a great gig.
No, the guy was like playing the hits, telling you about all the great things about Walmart. I thought, I can do that from my house.
They do like song trivia, and I always know the answer, and I'll always tell the associate, hey, the answer is Backstreet Boys, Quit Playing Games with My Heart.
Well, we need to contact headquarters in Bentonville and tell them that we can be Walmart DJs.
I would love that gig, because they're not going to fire you. All you got to do is just be nice and say hello to our friends at store number 855 in Sheboygan.
And I have some ideas for them. I think Walmart should regionalize the DJs. Like in the South, you go, hey, welcome to Walmart, y'all. Look here on aisle 4 today. We got fishing bait, fishing rod. In the South, you have a Southern guy, and then maybe up in Minnesota. Don't you know, on aisle 3 here today, we got some awesome stuff, don't you know? Do a different regional accent for every store.
And if you're like Harlem, you can be like, hey, baby, we got deals on chitlins down there. Aisle 6-7, baby.
Y'all don't be stealing nothing now on aisle 4.
If you ask your associate, he'll come open up the shampoo shelf. He got that special key, baby.
I was really digging the Walmart DJ.
Yeah, that's my next gig. That's my last gig.
He was okay. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the air fryer. But I was blown away by how big this Walmart was and how much stuff it had in it. I mean, it is a one-stop shop. There's no doubt about it. So earlier today on my Walk in the Woods post that I always do every day on the Talk and on Facebook, and I post those on YouTube, where, by the way, if you're not a subscriber yet to the Jack Murphy Podcast, let's take care of that right now.
I see you got another subscriber this week.
Yeah, I did. And if you want more long-form information and some of the other stuff we do. We have another YouTube page called History City. Go over there. You'll like some of the stuff we're doing over there, too. But this morning I was talking about James Comey, the former FBI director, and the former CIA director, John Brennan. Now, they both know that they're about to get grilled pretty hard, and there could be some perjury charges filed against John Brennan. That's the talk, because John Brennan went in front of Congress and basically lied about the 2016 Russian collusion thing.
Now, refresh everyone's memory who's just tuning and tapping in what the story is on this.
Well, John Brennan was one of the people that signed a letter at the behest of Hillary Clinton, and he got, I can't remember the exact number, but he got like 50-something former security-type people, CIA, FBI, to sign this letter saying, yes, there was Russian collusion, and this Steele dossier proves it, blah, blah, blah. The whole time, they'd been told the Steele dossier was fake. It was a phony. It was actually paid for by Hillary Clinton. We know that now. So the very document they said that proved collusion to help Trump was actually produced by the person they were trying to protect Hillary Clinton.
Now, wasn't it for a time, if you talked about that online, they would kick you off your platform?
Oh, yes.
For spreading misinformation.
You were deplatformed. You were called election denier. You were the worst of the worst. And then Brennan gets up in front of Congress and just lied his ass off about it. His deputy had sent him an email warning him that the Steele dossier was wrong. So he knows he's in trouble. He knows, and so he's trying to protect himself and his legacy. So where do you think he went for an interview yesterday?
I'm going to guess probably Fox News primetime with Jesse Waters.
No.
Was that close?
You're 180 degrees from the right place.
PBS.
MSNBC. PBS wouldn't have been bad, but he wants even less people to see it, so he went to MSNBC. He claimed on Deadline, I don't even know what that is, that Trump was incorrect to say that there was no election interference in 2016. I don't even know how you could say that with a straight face. And then he said, Trump just needs to admit there was election interference in 2016, get over it and move on.
Now, aren't these the two people who were in charge of the CIA and the intelligence agencies when Trump was president?
No. James Comey was the head of the FBI when Trump first came in, but Trump fired him because he realized that Comey had tried to set him up. Mm-hmm. And Brennan was the CIA director under Obama. And he left when Trump came in because Trump appointed his own person. But then, in the same interview, Brennan claimed that President Trump is weaponizing the government against him.
How about that? What do they call that? Law?
Karma?
No. Well, when they use the law to take down their
weaponizing the Justice Department.
Something like that. There's a word for it. I'm not really good at remembering right now.
You're not good at words.
I'm not really.
You can't be the Walmart DJ if you're not good at words.
That's what I just want to say. Do I need to be good with words? All I want to be is the Walmart morning guy.
But here he is on television saying that he's the victim of exactly what him and Comey and the rest of the Biden administration and Hillary Clinton's organization did to President Trump.
Russian collusion.
Yes. Total lies, total made up, and then get the government to go after everybody, raiding Mar-a-Lago, all that crap. So let them squirm. And then
you got to hand it to, you got to feel good for Trump, even if you hate him, which I know the people who hate him don't feel good for him, but he's finally been vindicated for all of this time.
Of everything. We all have. All of us election deniers have been vindicated.
It's got to be very frustrating when you're like, no, because even for a while, after a while, you start to doubt, well, maybe there was some kind of Russian collusion. I keep hearing this enough.
Exactly.
And now he's been vindicated.
That's their whole modus operandi, is to say it enough and people will believe it.
They almost had me, Murph. Almost.
Not me. The whole time I knew it was fake. I just knew it had to be. I knew that President Trump wouldn't collude with Russia.
Well, and if he had, and they had proof, you remember the infamous tape that was out there of him and it wouldn't they have shown it by now? Wouldn't it have leaked by now?
Yeah.
Especially in the throes of last year's election, they certainly would have thrown it at him at that point.
Right. You know, it's probably filed with the JFK files and the Epstein tape.
And the Epstein tape, which now they don't really want to talk about that too much.
There's no list. There's no tape.
I like to watch the Final Four.
All right, if I'm going to watch any basketball, it's like the Final Four college basketball. I don't really care about the NBA.
No.
I certainly don't care anything about the WNBA. But I have to say...
That's because you're a misogynist.
Yeah, I have to say I've gotten caught up a little bit in the Caitlin Clark mania. I love to watch the highlights of this little girl shooting from half court and just, boom, making those threes over and over. But the other ladies, the other lesbians in the NBA, they don't like her at all. They do not care for her at all. And there's a new report out. You know, here's somebody who created, all on her own, sold-out arenas for women's basketball all across America. She
had some help with the mainstream media because I had not heard of her until the mainstream media gave her a nice little push.
If you watch sports on ESPN or you watched ESPN at all, you couldn't help but find out who she was because she was in all these, college championship games against Angel Reese and was just unbelievable playing for Iowa. But she was filling up these previously empty arenas, is my point. Whatever, if she got a push or whatever, they had you have to have something to push. And suddenly these arenas are full for these games, and they never had that before. In fact, some of the players were complaining because they were getting booed and stuff by the fans. They weren't used to having a crowd that reacted to their play. They didn't like that. And then the TV ratings went through the roof. So it was kind of a shock when you have a woman who is in the top 3 scorers, I believe, in the WNBA.
Is she all that good, or is she just
fantastic.
better? Is she just better than the rest of the WNBA?
Well, listen to what you just said. Is she all that good, or is she better than the rest of the league? She only has to be better than the rest of the league.
Okay, but could she hang with the NBA? Could they let her in? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Could she even come close to hanging with an NBA?
No, not at all. But anyway, by every metric, she's a star. She's selling tickets. She's creating television ratings. So everybody was shocked, including ESPN and Colin Cowherd and all those people, when they didn't put her on the women's Olympic team. Everybody went, why would you not put the best, most visible, hot player on the team, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a big report out. Christy Brennan now says that the powers that be worked to exclude her. They didn't want her on the team, no matter how well she was playing. I'm telling you, the other lesbian players, they don't like her because she's white. And they don't like her because they've been in the league for, several years. They don't want somebody coming in and making a splash like that.
But there have been no stars in the WNBA as of now. I think there's one gal who had a couple.
Don't say that in front of them because they all believe they're stars. They want equal pay.
I realize that, but you have to have. Look, if they could have monetized the WNBA, they would have been doing it at some point in the last 25 years.
Anyway, this woman has written this big article with all these things that she found out about how they were excluded. She goes, there were never any plans to have Caitlin Clark on the team, and Caitlin handled it, with such grace. She said didn't want to be a distraction.
You know what? Everybody gets screwed over in life. There's a lot of people who do well at their jobs who were not given the money, the recognition, or appreciation or support. That's life for girls and guys.
Well, it's kind of like this. If Michael Jordan were a rookie in the NBA and had a fantastic season, at the end of the year they had the Olympics and they didn't invite him, it would raise a lot of eyebrows. Same thing. I mean, she kind of is the new Michael Jordan of the WNBA.
If Michael Jordan was a white girl, he'd be Caitlin Clark.
That's exactly right. He would be. She would have a great big house in Chicago that was terribly designed and decorated that she wanted to sell and couldn't for years and years and years.
You ever seen the YouTube videos of that house?
Yes, I have.
I would love to buy a house like that, even if I can't play basketball or
you
it
could
has
have
no
bought
reason.
it. You could. I think he had some ridiculous amount of money in it. 20, 30 million bucks or something. I think it finally sold for like $5.
Yeah, and it has a full basketball court. I mean, that would be great, but nobody wants to live in Chicago.
Yeah. And nobody wants a pool that's shaped in the numbers 23.
I do. I'd take it for $5. If I had $5 million, once we get these subscriber numbers up, maybe you and I can go halvesies on it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll put a studio in there. We'll get you a pool. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get an air fryer shaped pool.
There. Yeah.
How about that? And
I'll
we'll
tell
make
you
the
what,
front
I'll
of
be
the
your
mansion.
butler. I'll be your butler and just cook stuff in the air fryer.
Yeah, we'll make the front of the mansion look like a Walmart.
Yeah.
And we'll have a speaker on front, and the podcast will be playing through the speaker when people walk up to the mansion. All right, little warning for you folks out there. If you're driving out in the country, anywhere, doesn't matter anywhere, and you come across an injured bear on the side of the road, what are you supposed to do? This is a question that I'm going to ask. What would you do, John?
Stop and help and hug the bear and look and see if there are any cubs around that I can pick up and carry.
That's what one 59-year-old man in California did, and he was mauled by the bear and severely injured.
This is like a grizzly bear, brown bear, black bear?
Doesn't say, but I'm assuming it was a black bear. There's a lot of black bears in Northern California, and same thing, by the way, if you're in California, a mountain lion injured on the side of the road. Don't stop to try to help that either. Anyway, the bear immediately attacked him and nearly ripped his arm off.
I thought black bears were fairly docile.
They don't hunt you normally. There have been a few instances where they did it, but they normally don't hunt you the way a grizzly would. They hunt you down and kill you and eat you. But if you corner them, or, as you say with the cubs, if you corner a female or get near a female with cubs, they will attack you. And I think if they're injured on the side of the road, they're gonna try to, because they think you're trying to eat them. So
I would never stop for a black bear, a brown bear, a grizzly bear, a yogi bear. None of them. I'm gonna keep on trucking.
Just call the Department of Natural Resources, or the Game and Fish people, or whoever. Call 911. Let them handle. How about that?
That's news we can all use. Thanks.
You know who Nicki Minaj is, the famous rapper, right? Isn't she a rapper? Is she a rapper? Yeah.
She's one of them female rappers in the vein of Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B.
Okay. She went off, apparently, on Jay-Z yesterday and claimed that he owes her up to $200 million and says he ruined hip-hop, football, basketball, Instagram, Twitter, and touring.
How did he do all that?
I don't know. She says that Jay owes her between $1 and $200 million for her stake in Tidal. She said, it's only collecting more interest, Jay. You might as well
so she's
pay
in
it.
business with him. It's not like he owes her for like royalties on songs. She's not that big of an artist.
What is Tidal? Is that their music streaming thing? I think it is. I think that it's a streaming service.
So she's part owner in that with him?
Yeah, I guess when they started it, she was one of the bigger artists at the time, and they wanted her involved, and she was wise enough to get a piece of it. But Jay-Z's even wiser. Just don't pay him.
We're starting to see that Jay-Z is kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, more and more people are saying that.
Yes.
She says he'll answer to God for his blasphemy.
I like when artists, and we should go one day over some of her lyrics and her songs, and then have her, mentioning God when it comes to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm familiar with some of her lyrics. The one in particular comes to mind. I won't get into it.
He's got quite a few that God's like, wait a minute, don't bring me in this.
Yeah.
What did I do?
The reason she says he'll regret he's mocking God or whatever is he likes to be known as Hova, which is short for Jehovah.
Is that where that came from?
He's the God of the music business, right?
I did not know that. Now that is sacrilegious.
It is.
Now I've lost all respect for Jay-Z.
So anyway, big beef there. She better watch out. She'll wind up Biggie Smalled or.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
I had a weird dream last night. I was hoping maybe you can help me. And tell me if you've ever heard of this.
Hey, I can have the dream doctor come on and tell you what it means.
I'm not one of these people that thinks all dreams mean something, but I had a weird one. I dreamed that I moved to Iran.
Ooh.
Really odd, random dream. Stupid dream.
Have you been thinking about converting to Islam?
No, but the only thing I can think of is I saw a YouTube video, an old interview with the Shah of Iran back in '77, the last Shah of Iran.
Could very well be it.
I had a dream that I moved to Iran, and I woke up and I Googled it just to see what's what. Did you know people dreaming of Iran is a thing?
Well, think about it. Think about how much Iran is in the news. You can't turn on a network newscast without hearing something. I mean, just yesterday, the big mullah had 100 other mullahs into the mullah room in Iran, the big mullah room, and they had 100 people say that Donald Trump is an enemy of God and he must die. And they've put out one of those fatwas on him. You know what
He's also an enemy of Hova, from what I understand.
Yeah. You know that? You know what a fatwa is, right?
They're out for him. They're out for him.
Yeah, fatwa is when the mullah says that this there was one on Salman Rushdie.
Salman Rushdie, that's right.
And somebody nearly killed him not too long ago. You know, he lost an eye. They stabbed him in the face a couple of times. They had bodyguards on him forever, but they got a little loose with the security, and they nearly got him. So the fatwa just means that if you're a believing Muslim of that sect, not a Sunni but a Shia, if you're a Shia Muslim and you have a chance, it is your duty to kill that person to please Allah.
And there's no expiration date on a fatwa.
Ever. No, unless he rescinds it, and they never do.
So what were we talking about? Oh, the dream about Iran. If I looked on Reddit, this thing goes back for years. I've been hearing about Iran my whole life. I've never even thought about going there. And this is a dream.
We've all been hearing about Iran. Nobody had ever heard of Iran until 1979. Then we all heard about it, and we haven't quit hearing about it. I'm sick of hearing about it.
It finally caught up with me, and I go online at some point. Just look up, I dreamed of Iran last night, and there's Reddits.
I'll tell you what, there's a guy that I follow. You know I don't want you to get left behind, John. You know that. And there's a guy that I follow on the interwebs named Sam Shimon, and he debates, he's a Christian apologist, and he debates Muslims, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, all these people, and, you know, shows them why they're wrong and they're going to get left behind. But anyway, there are all these people, and they'll come on his show on YouTube. You know, they tape it, and you hear the voices. In some cases, they do a thing like this where you can see both parties. But there have been a lot of people coming on his show recently, people that are in Middle Eastern countries, and they veil their faces because they're afraid their families will kill them, or the mullah will put out a fatwa on them. They're having dreams in a lot of these Middle Eastern countries about Jesus, and they don't know why, that he's appearing in their dreams. And so there's a lot of people in Iran and a lot of these other countries that are converting from Islam to Christianity. Pretty amazing.
What does that mean for me in my Iran dream? Who's trying to reach me through my dreams?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
I'm going to get my butt to church.
You're going in the wrong direction.
I must be. I am already left behind.
You're heading down the wrong road. Maybe that's what he's trying to tell you. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody having a dream about Iran.
Until last night, neither had I, but I am not the first.
So what's on the menu for the air fryer today? Got anything planned?
I bought some market side Walmart chicken grillers with bacon wrapped around them. Mm-hmm. And you want to see them? I can go run and get them real quick.
No, that's okay. I can imagine it. It's a piece of chicken with bacon wrapped around it.
You stick them in there for $3.75 for like 11 minutes, and you shake all the Molly McButter.
Is it a chicken breast with the bacon around it?
Yes.
Now, see, the reason they do that is because chicken breasts are notoriously, they get chewy and dry.
Right.
I don't like to do the chicken breast in the air fryer. I go with the chicken thighs.
See, I hadn't
skin on.
They had those, but I hadn't gotten them yet.
You get the salt, pepper, garlic powder on them, and that skin gets real crispy. My goodness, it's so good.
It's fabulous. I'll have to do that next, but this week I've been hooked on bacon-wrapped chicken breasts.
That's the first thing I would do if I were the Walmart DJ. I'd go, greetings, Walmart shoppers. Head to the chicken department and pick up 4 delicious Walmart chicken thighs and put them in your air fryer.
I hope the Walmart people are listening
Nicki
right now.
Minaj.
I hope they're listening right now. Maybe we should send them an air check.
That's a great idea. How do they know if they want to hire us if they've never heard us?
We'll send them a tape and resume.
So what do you have with the dry chicken breast wrapped in bacon?
I have some market fresh potato salad, which is my carbs
So you're
for
not
the day.
you're not making the potato salad yourself.
Oh no, that's a lot of effort, Jack. I don't like any
It's
kind
not that
of
hard.
effort.
You cut it up into chunks. You boil the potatoes a little bit. Put a little mayonnaise, mustard, and some pickles in there, and off you go.
We're not gonna do that. That's too much.
Well, anyway, so listen. I want you. John is very busy with his air fryer and his neighbor Chikanda and her children, and his puppies, and everything. I want you to pick a day that you can be on the show regularly.
I don't know. I don't like to work
Instead of just
a whole
random appearing, just pick a day. Friday, Monday, Wednesday. That way I can say tomorrow, John, the future Walmart DJ, will be here.
We can do, how about Thursdays with Johnny?
Thursdays with Johnny. All right. If it's Thursday, it's Thursday.
I mean, you pick a day.
Well, I thought Friday would be fun to do it on Friday. Fun time Friday with Johnny.
Well, pick somebody else for Fun Time Friday.
You don't like Friday. Okay. All right, we'll go
like
with Thursday. We'll go with Thursday.
Okay.
All right, listen, thank you for tuning in to the Jack Murphy Podcast. Like it and subscribe. It really help us out.
If you don't, we're going to put a fatwa all up on your butt.
That's exactly what we'll do. And if you want to check out our other YouTube channel, go to History City on YouTube and like that one and subscribe too. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
And remember, there is no expiration date on a fatwa.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.